Today, we are going to take a look at how the Arabs conquered ancient Egypt. Northern Africa didn't always look like this, but everything changed when the Arabians attacked. So in this video, we are going to take a look at how it all got started and the change it brought to the African civilization. But before we get into this video, kindly subscribe to this channel for more amazing content. Thank you. Around the year 639 AD, the Arabians began to take over ancient Egypt. This brought the Arabian language and Islam to the African country because around this time, Greek was the official language. This started the shift of Egypt's cultural focus to the east, especially towards the Arabian Peninsula. After Prophet Muhammad united the Arabian tribes under one god, his relative Abu Bakr took over as caliph after the Prophet's death. They marched north, where they crushed the Byzantine Christians and the Persians. The conquest of Syria was important because mercenaries and troops left Syria for Africa and the Middle East. It was a stronghold for Christians with big cathedrals and castles. So, to protect Syria, the Arabs had to take over Christian Egypt. The Arabian generals were worried that Egypt's large friendly Christian forces would launch a counter-offensive that would push the Arabians out of Syria. So the Arabian general Amir ibn, who had been to Egypt before, knew that its Christian population was spread thin, which made it easy to capture. He knew that capturing Egypt would give the Arabians an important strategic point in their fight for conquest, because gaining control of Egypt's huge resources could help the growing armies of the Arabians. Additionally, it had the potential to be used as a springboard for attracting new converts to Islam. He was sent to Oman, where he was successful in converting the kings, which later gave him the forces he needed to take over Israel, and in turn turned most of the Christian population into Muslims. With over 4,000 cavalrymen armed with lances, swords, bows and arrows under his command, he entered Egypt on December 12, 639 AD through Syria. The city of Cairo surrendered soon after, but the Christian warriors defended their land until the death of their emperor, Heraclius. The Egyptian Christian morale plummeted as a result of this, and they abandoned their castles without a fight, sailing upriver to Alexandria. The Arabian general marched his army to Fayoum, conquering Middle and Upper Egypt before besieging Alexandria. Despite its defenses, the Arabian forces were able to seize Alexandria with minimal resistance. Egypt's morale was poor because the people in charge were more interested in battling the Christians in Upper Egypt than the Arabians. Later, Egypt's rulers made a peace deal with the invading army, which basically gave Egypt to the Arabians. During the Islamic rule, Egypt was protected by a contract that stopped the conquering troops from splitting the country up, so the Arabs started imposing heavy taxes on the Egyptians. The Arabians gained tremendous wealth through this, and as you may have already guessed, they gave the people of Egypt an ultimatum to either convert to Islam or remain Jews or Coptic Christians. Converts were granted full citizenship and were eligible for no-interest loans to start companies. Those who remained Coptic Christians or Jews were allowed to worship freely, but they had to pay an extra fee. Coptic resistance to the Arabian invasion was minimal, and they were allowed to return to government positions held before the conquest. Amir ibn moved Egypt's capital from Alexandria to Old Cairo to show how different his government would be. So for hundreds of years, Egypt was run by Arabian rulers chosen by the Caliph. Egypt's grain helped Arabian cities and soldiers for many years, and the tax money it brought in was very important because it made them richer. Eventually, many Egyptians came to accept the Arabian rule and converted to Islam through marriage or trade. The Arabian language became the main language of the country. It was used in schools, government offices, and businesses, and the continuous Arab immigration to Egypt aided to the Arabanization of the African country, just as the whites subsequently colonized South Africa. The Arab conquest of Egypt is one of the most important events in the history of the Arab world because it led to the conquest of other northern African countries. So, this is the complete history of how the Arabs conquered ancient Egypt and the gradual process of the Arabanization of an African country. Let me know what you think in the comment section. Thank you for watching and see you in the next video.